Hey YouTube, it's Kier. Okay, so I just finished my ritual for the full moon, and it kind of got me thinking about this, weird thing that I've been considering since the ritual for the summer solstice. So I'm gonna make a video about this, and it's gonna be kind of weird, but y'all just bear with me. So, okay, I got pregnant in April, and as we know, April is the time of fertility and the goddess getting pregnant with the god and all of that. I will give birth to this teacup human in January, which is a month after the goddess gives birth to the god, and it is still, in the same season. So as I'm doing my rituals for the wheel of the year, I am on the same path, I guess you could say, as the goddesses in the stories, and it's kind of really weird because I've done these rituals for fucking years, but the stories were, how do I put this, they were symbolic. You consider the goddess getting bigger with child, and how that, relates to the earth being abundant, and then the earth, fall coming, and the harvest, and then, winter, which is a time of rebirth. And it's just strange to kind of be on that same path, because as I'm standing there doing these rituals, and I'm considering the goddess in her pregnant state, I am actually in the same kind of state. It's just weird. And the same thing goes with the full moon ritual. The goddess is pregnant, she's in the mother phase. And right now I kind of feel like I'm in between the maiden mother phase. Like, I'm pregnant but the baby isn't born yet, so I'm in a weird in-between spot. And it does kind of put a different spin on the rituals, I guess you can say. I don't know how else to explain this. And I'm just wondering if any of my beloved YouTube witchies on here have ever been gotten pregnant around the similar time and had a similar experience, or if I'm just, doing the whole smug pregnant woman thing and making way more of this than it is. But I mean, it is. It's weird. And then on top of that, I know this is gonna sound fucking crazy, whatever, but when I stand there at my altar and I'm doing my rituals or my spells or what have you, I do feel, how do I explain this without sounding fucking insane? I feel an energy that is not mine, but is right now for the time being part of me. And I will say, and this again may sound fucking nuts, but as far as doing spells, even just mental magic, things seem to be manifesting quicker than usual. And again, I could just be doing the whole fucking smug pregnant woman thing, but it does sort of feel like this extra energy that I'm carrying is kind of helping me get an extra oomph toward magic. I don't know how else to explain that. And on top of that, I kind of have to wonder what me doing rituals and spells, like how, if at all, that affects the baby. Not in a negative way, obviously. I don't fucking think that my religion is like fucking my kid up or anything. But just like, can she feel the energy? Will that, does that affect her? Will that affect her later in life? I don't know. It's just kind of strange to consider, I guess, because one, I never really thought I'd be in this position and be all pregnant and shit. And two, I don't know. Like, as I was talking about in the video where I was giving the update on the baby, I don't know how the whole soul baby thing works. Because I kind of feel like the soul is there, but not entirely there. Like, oh God, how do I explain this? There's it's either Japanese or Korean version of a movie that fucking America redid. I'm trying to think of what it's called. But it's a horror movie, but it turns out not to be horror. This woman is pregnant, and she's seeing these spirits everywhere, and there's this spirit attached to her, and all this. And come to find out, the spirits that she's seeing with all these pregnant women and the one who's following her, they are who the baby is going to reincarnate into when the baby is born. And it does kind of feel that way. Like, the spirit is there, but not entire. I don't know how to explain it. It's fucking weird. And I'm just wondering, I mean, I don't think that you have to be a witch to kind of, think about this. I don't know. I'm just wondering how, if at all, any of you guys have ever considered this while being knocked up. Like, it's just weird. It's like I am carrying around an extra energy that is, for the time being, part of me, but will not be part of me in January when I give birth. It's very strange, actually. And, on top of that, it kind of makes you wonder, like, who was the baby before the baby was my baby? And, what if this child is going to be like I was, where at 2 years old I was talking about my past life and how bad I missed my mother and, that sort of thing. But at least I'm prepared for it. My mom, I will give her this. My mother handled that shit like a champ. Her and my grandmother. And my grandmother was Christian at the time. My mom really didn't. Like, she had gone to church before I was born and all that. But then when I was born, she tried to get me baptized at the church that she had gone to for like 5 years. And they refused to baptize me because I was a bastard. True story. And that kind of like turned her off of the whole thing. And so when I was like 2, she didn't really have a religion. She hadn't found Wicca yet, and she wasn't Christian anymore. So, and my family had no real previous experience with anything pertaining to reincarnation. But she never told me I was nuts. She never, told me to stop. She just listened. And so did my grandma. And, of course they believed me, because how is a 2-year-old going to describe dying in a car accident and what happened to her parents and giving the names of her parents and all that? Like, no 2-year-old's imagination is that fucking good. But I'm more prepared than my mother and my grandmother were, because I have experienced this my entire life, and I am a witch, and I do believe in reincarnation, and I am not necessarily anticipating it, but I know that it is possible that this child will come out and still have the memories of her last life or multiple lives, and she will want to discuss them. And it does, it just, I don't know. Witching while pregnant, for me, is a mystery. It just brings up all of these questions that I have no fucking answers to whatsoever, and may never have answers to. And I'm just wondering if any of my beloved witchy pals out there have felt this way, or experienced this, or thought about this, or anything like that. So, if y'all have any ideas, you don't even have to be a witch. If you have any insight into this whatsoever, please share with me, because I just, I'm perplexed and curious and all that good shit. Alright, so blessed full moon to all of you who care that it's the full moon. And I hope y'all have a beautiful week, and I hope y'all remember to smile.